This week we've been talking about body recomposition, and today I want to dispel a myth about fat burning. All right, anytime a product or a training program is claiming it burns fat, it shreds fat, it dissolves fat, all right, it's absolute nonsense, because that's not how metabolism works. All right, that's just not the chemistry. There's nothing magical about it. There's no special tea or special powder that's going to burn fat for you. It's really just a manipulation of the data. So let me explain why this happens. So I remember when I did my Cert 3 and Cert 4 in fitness, they were talking about if you do low intensity cardio, you're going to be in that fat burning zone. All right, you're going to be burning more fat. All right, this is somewhat true, but again, it's a manipulation of the data. So the time that our body uses fat as its greatest fuel source, right? Remember that fat is this real slow burning fuel. It's not very good for, fast, efficient energy release. So we burn about 60 to 70% fat when we are asleep. So by that logic, if you just slept more, you would burn more fat, which obviously we understand is not true. Okay, so when you're asleep, it's 60 to 70% fat burning, but of course you're burning very low amounts of fuel to be asleep. It doesn't take much energy to sleep. After that, if you're walking, you may be using 30 to 40% fat as a fuel source at best. Of course, when you're jogging or running, you're talking about 5%, maybe even less fat as a fuel source. The problem with this low intensity, steady state cardio is that you burn very low amounts of fuel in general. So it's more fat, yes, as a percentage, but you only use a little bit of fuel. When you go for a run or a jog, or you run interval sprints, you're using a lot of fuel, all right, even though it's not fat. Now, at the end of the day, it's not really going to matter too much, all right? The chemistry is going to take care of itself. At the end of the day, you breathe in oxygen and you breathe out CO2. That's actually all the fat that will ever leave your body, all right, minus a little bit of chemistry, because I'm not going to go into that, is going to be breathed out through your mouth, all right? It doesn't sweat out your body through your pores. It doesn't magically dissolve. You breathe it out. That is metabolism. That is chemistry. That's how it works. So keep this in mind, that don't fall for these products that are, increasing your metabolism slightly for a low period of time, and then your metabolism's going to come back down until you have their product again. All right, anytime something claims that it is fat burning, all right, it's really just increasing your metabolism slightly for a little bit, and then it's going to go back. Same with that fat burning zone. So if I was to recommend a training strategy for losing fat, and I know this is going to sound counterintuitive, all right, but building muscle is really important to help you lose fat, all right? Two reasons why. One, when people are just doing cardio, what they find is they can lose some fat, but then they put that fat back on later, whether they slow down their training or they keep it the same. So by building muscle, all right, muscle is metabolic tissue, which means to build it, it's gonna take calories, and to keep it, to maintain that muscle, is actually going to burn more calories too. All right, so it's like a double whammy. All right, you're going to get return on your investment. The next one is your 2 cardio days. I recommend a steady state, all right, relatively, cruising intensity, maybe 50, 60% max effort. That's your nice long jog. And then a day where you do intervals. So that's really getting your heart rate up. And this is going back to that, well, we're not burning as much fat, but we're using lots of fuel, okay? This is not only going to increase your fitness, all right, but this is definitely going to help you, all right, with burning fat long-term, or losing weight long-term, all right? That, you go high intensity, have a little rest, high intensity, have a little rest, high intensity, and continue to repeat that, all right? So that would be my strategy for 4 workouts a week. Counterintuitive, but 2 strength workouts, all right? Build some muscle across your body. It's going to help you lose fat in the long term. Second one is your steady state cardio, and your third one is going to be your interval training. That is my recommendation for people that want to burn fat. If you have any questions, leave a comment. I'll be more than happy to talk about body recomposition.